set the scene, could you explain what Super November is?
Super November is a film starring Josie Long, who plays a librarian called Josie, because we're not that imaginative for coming up with names. And Josie, it started with the film, Josie's in the throes of this new romance with Mikey, who's played by Sean Biggerstaff. And she's so got the blinkers on with it that she doesn't realise all this political stuff that's happening behind the scenes. And we've got these amazing plans for November, and when it comes to November, we are now in the throes of a right-wing administration, and eventually Josie and her friends have to escape from Glasgow.
They're all going to the pub. We should go to the pub.
No, because we've been here 20 minutes, so if we go now, we just wasted all that time.
What was really funny about it is when we screened it in February in the premiere, I suddenly realised that hardly anyone has seen this film. So, so as soon as I introduced it and sat down for the premiere, I should have had a test screening, but it went down like better than I could have hoped, and I was absolutely delighted with it. But I had my Fitbit on when I was watching it as well, so I made it as if I was doing a workout, and then by the time the film was finished, my average heart rate was 130.
He's genuinely the sort of person who would say something like, "Bring on the apocalypse."
Well, he's got a point.
I think first and foremost, it's all about the characters, and the film's really about the personal versus the political. So it starts off with like how I guess we would normally react to massive political things, which is like initial sort of shock or disgust with it, but then you're still concerned about your own day-to-day relationships, and it's as much about that as it is about any strict political statement. But I guess it's about that sort of complacency that it can get into if you're in sort of these nice, comfortable lives, even at the time you might think we're not so comfortable.
Go! Get me in!
We've really come up with a mirror structure, so the first half ends with an odyssey to the pub, and the second half kind of does the same, but in drastically different circumstances. And it's almost a bit of a cheat in a way, because it does still have, your inciting incident and this should happen by then, but then we've kind of cheated it because it's a mirror. So it's almost as if the first half sort of has its own, not strictly structural, but there is a structure there, and then the second half mirrors it and almost comments on it as it happens.
And you did actually film the two parts 6 months apart as well.
Yeah.
So what happened in the world during that 6 months influence what happened next?
Well, what was really funny is, because as we were shooting it in two parts, is that after we finished shooting the first half, the very next day Brexit happened, which was just incredible, because our script just stayed the same, but then the whole rest of the world just pivoted, and what should seem like science fiction isn't science fiction anymore. And then when we shot the second half in November, the day we wrapped, Trump was elected. So either our film is quite prescient, or we're just scheduling to major electoral polls. Even so, after we shot it, when I was editing it, I remember there was certain things, say like travel bans, which actually we had much more of in the script, but it was a strange thing, because I can remember editing it and then turning on the TV and seeing Trump signing his daft executive order, and it was scary, but it's strange because the film has not changed from inception, but the rest of the world has changed in the past 2 years, and I actually don't think we've realised just how much it's changed since 2016. It's crazy stuff.
It's all the prophetic what you've made, I think.
Yeah, I think also another thing is that there's a wee line about Sean Biggerstaff says that gluten doesn't exist, and I've now been diagnosed celiac, so I feel like that's a bit of karma there, and I wish I'm going to get Josie to write that we, a bunch of filmmakers win the lottery or something, because it's his Nostradamus here.
And given that the characters are the things that I'm thinking of, you're thinking of as well, what was it, because on screen they are like pals who you think you might have or anyone you might know, how did it work that well?
Yeah, I think I think that's great that you think that, because we're really lucky with the casting to try and get together a bunch of people that in a way could, you know, work so well together and put across these believable friendships. And I think it's because deep down all the cast are just really, really nice and sound people, and it really comes across. And I think how we cast it is almost on those actors' souls rather than, oh, we're all extremely talented actors, but we've all got a lot of soul to them as well, and the audience just picks it up and reads off it. We actually cast the film through Twitter, so if we'd seen an actor that we liked and wanted to have a wee chat with, then Josie would follow them on Twitter, and then everybody knows Josie from comedy, so then they were always like following her back. And if we were in Glasgow based, I would go meet for a coffee. London based, Josie would go meet him for a coffee. And I'm absolutely delighted with the performances in the film. It's just great that we managed to secure such an amazing cast, and they all just settled so well into their roles. I think Sean Biggerstaff said that you know, the dialogue was so good, it was like falling off a log. That's how easy it was, and I think that was one of the main reasons as to how we were able to attract such a high calibre of cast for this wee tiny film.
We're gonna chuck this out the window.
Big John?
No, I really respect office supplies. I'd prefer if you did the same.
I absolutely love Glasgow. I've shot pretty much all my films there, and you know, it's through choice. Like, I could have shot it elsewhere, but even with shooting all my shorts in Glasgow and the feature film in Glasgow, I still feel like I've got unfinished business. There's some amazing parts of Glasgow I'd love to commit to the film. Even just the city centre, I think I've not quite nailed yet, but it was great to have other wee parts of Glasgow like Tradeston, where there's some amazing buildings, some you know, derelict buildings, and I'd love to have got a wee bit more of that into the film. But yeah, I think I'd love to, you know, if I had the choice and all the money in the world, I'd still shot it in Glasgow. But there is also practical things with, if you're doing something, if you're making a film this way, this insane way, then you need to rely on all your contacts. And so a lot of it is shot in Glasgow, but also in Clydebank, which is where I grew up. And we were able to, you know, film in Clydebank Library, and yeah, just bring in all the favours you can. And maybe if we did shoot it in London, maybe we couldn't have done it because the budget of the film would have just amounted to our parking for parking in the city centre of London. Just this week we're going to be taking it on a wee tour of the UK, and we've got some more dates coming up at the start of the new year as well. I'd love to see Superman in November, probably do justice to it and get it in a much wider release. But my next immediate film is another short film, which I'm calling an OCD heist movie, which I'm really looking forward to doing that. And me and Josie are working on a couple of other projects, and I'm also working with another screenwriter called James Price on a really Glasgow set, I guess, like a sort of supernatural gangster film.
So keep busy.
Yeah.